Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about motivation and why a lot of people don't have it. And for this, I want to tell you a story. And the story goes that yesterday I was in a forest, right? Yesterday I went to a forest, started walking around with a couple of my cousins. And we were climbing across rocks, going across like these large cracks in the ground as if there was an earthquake or something. I don't really know what that was about. Like there were like big cracks in the ground, like a human could fit in there. But that's besides the point. There was a bunch of mosquitoes biting us. We had to like maneuver around trees and all that. We had to watch out for poison ivy. It was really uncomfortable, but it was amazing. I love that experience. But the point of that story is just to say a lot of people won't really experience that type of uncomfortability mixed with joyous happiness because they don't intentionally put themselves in situations where it can be painful slash uncomfortable, right? So in that situation, I chose to go into the forest when I had a perfectly AC cooled house with video games and movies, and I intentionally chose to go into the forest because I wanted to experience some sort of pain, right? And that's what you really need to do in order to get motivation. Just put yourself in a situation where you experience pain, because I feel like the most common reason people aren't motivated is just because they don't experience enough pain. They get comfortable, right? You have a stable relationship, you have snacks, you have movies, you have a TV, right? You don't have any really pressing problems like, oh, you're about to get evicted or something. So you're just comfortable and you're happy with that. But in order to stay on this self improvement and stay disciplined, you can't just be comfortable with your life. Like, actually, I have another example. A lot of people, what happens to them before they get on self improvement is that they go through a really rough period. For me, it was loneliness. For other people, it might be financial problems or something like that. They just have a really serious problem that they need to fix. And then they're motivated enough to get on self improvement. And then you work really hard. But as you work really hard, you gain more things and then you get complacent. So I feel like in order to be motivated, you have to remind yourself of that time when you weren't that earlier time before you were on self improvement that you were experiencing some type of pain, right? And if you do, then you'll be reminded that if you slack off, that's what's waiting for you, right? That's what's waiting for you on the path of complacency. And that actually really gets to a person. For me, I'll actually give you another example. When I was out on vacation in Texas, actually I'm out right now, but earlier on this vacation, I was with a couple of my cousins. I was eating junk food, eating ice cream. I was eating these fast food meals and all that because I had gotten complacent. I had a house to be at. It was actually pretty good. There was a projector in the game room, I think it was, or film room, or whatever it was. And we were watching movies on there, and I was happy, right? But you can't just, if you want to make more progress, you can't just be happy where you're at. And I feel like that's what I've learned over the last maybe 2-ish weeks, especially. So if you are just hyper and you're complacent, that's totally fine if you're fine with that life. But if you want more, you have to be able to intentionally put yourself in a situation where you experience pain. Because what it'll do is that it'll remind you of where you're headed if you stay complacent, right? So that was it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.